and then yeah.
Alright, hey everyone, we're back, and for those of you that missed the previous match, we just saw Rated R take it over Encore, and a pretty close match, honestly, all throughout. Unfortunately, Encore's kind of started to lose it near the end, but getting a few decent races, just barely missing it, though.
It seemed very definitely a swinging match throughout last match, as each team definitely had a situation where they had momentum and they were getting continuous winning races, but fortunately for Rated R, they managed to edge out a win by 18 points, I believe. And
yeah, 18.
So now it's all square. The winner of this match gets crowned the champion of 200 League Overdrive 2.
Yeah. Another thing about that match too is just like with how close it was, like the indivs as well, as mentioned in the chat. The MVP was 102 and the LVP was 70, so like really, really close in that aspect.
Absolutely. No, in terms of lineups, they're both exactly the same. Darky has been dripping for the last hour and a half, so I guess it'll continue in this match.
Yeah, Kai Neji's still forced to play at 5 a.m. to close out 200L, but it's okay, right? Because like if you get the win, then you know that's all that matters, right? They don't ask how; they just ask. Well, they just look at the fact that you did it. So, yeah.
They don't consider who played. They just play who they think are the best, and not don't consider, you know, if they intend to sleep or not. But
right, yeah. So the main thing to notice from the last match, we saw Encore get shocked a lot. Like I think most races they actually pulled it, and whether they actually gained from most of them or not is kind of like up for debate, because like there were quite a few instances where like they did get it and they used it, but they didn't really gain much out of it. So I think if you're Encore here, maybe focus still on going for shocks, because it did help quite a bit, but they just need to gain a little more out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Encore, their shot game last match was very good, but I think, like you said, they made as much as they could potentially, but I think, especially on tracks like TM, as you saw last match, Rated R just had dominated the front, and they had such a big lead that the shock didn't really do much to their lead. So Rated R managed to get a winning race, especially with the Deci, that race in particular. But yeah,
and like if you're Rated R, like the main thing you want to focus on is just running, because like that definitely worked out for them on quite a few races last time. Basically, like if they're in the front, right, it really comes down to like Encore getting a shock and then using it properly. So it's like, you know, do you want to bank on Encore potentially not using a good shock, or do you want to just hope maybe that they don't pull it at all, or you want to have someone in the front, or most spots in the front, I should say, and then someone in the back. I think that's probably would be the best way to go about it. And I feel like that was a common theme in the previous match too. Like you would always see Chibi in the back with like James or someone else, like Yoshi Racer. I think it was usually a Roy. So I would not be surprised if we see that again this match.
Absolutely. I think I'm interested to see how each team plays this, because I think Encore may potentially try and have a lot more front presence as much as they can, obviously. But I think I would agree with one of them still staying back for the shock, like Chibi or whatever, because he is very good at pulling the shock. I think it would help them out, but I don't think they should commit completely to getting the shock, and I think they should have quite a few runners up in the front.
Yeah, and that's especially the case on a track like Moo Moo, where like as we saw last time, if you're in the front, you're basically not going to lose it. Granted, like whatever was going on lap 3 in the previous match is just beyond me, but like if Darky is able to start on first, or starting first on Moo Moo, then that is really, really good for Rated R, as they'll be able to keep those top spots early, most likely. So,
yes. We are playing Sweet Canyon first race, as we played this last event. I think Encore got a dominating race this last time. Darky getting smart bounced in first though, giving. I think that looks like Encore early top spots.
That sucks. Yeah, getting trouble with someone that just got hit.
Miscommunication. Deci with the shroom taking cut. It looks like Encore all up here. Kai holding the fort in first currently with a red shell. But there's only really so much he can do with that, as Deci has a shroom and a horn in second. Shrooming up, attempting to horn, getting him, landing the shot, taking first. I think that might be a top 3 now for Encore. Maybe more.
Yeah, plays like that are like kind of interesting because like you could like debate on potentially holding the shrimp for cut and then just having a horn in first for if the blue does come. But I mean, Encore does look like they're in a decent position, top 2-4. We do see some people in the back, however. The Ghost is
Deci opting to go wide. Shock coming in.
Shock for sure.
I think Encore did a very good job of predicting that shock. Actually, must have seen one of them go into a dodge.
Yeah,
or something.
Either that or they probably saw someone in the back holding it. But Darky just gets destroyed by that plant, and is gonna only have a single red in 9th. Gonna probably get the double, however. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here.
I think that's a top 2 for rated R. But
yeah, that's Eric in first. Right?
What else did they get? Top 2, 5, 6.
Okay.
That is definitely a winning race for rated R, but I don't think it's that much. They obviously, even though it's only been one race, they're for not even close to being comfortable yet. But a good start for rated R.
Fortunately for rated R, that race, their shock didn't get booed this time, so they were actually able to take advantage of it. And I mean, they got a winning race this time, so who knows what would have happened last time if that didn't occur.
I am actually pretty sure it was one of Rated R's own that stole the shock, even though it might not have looked like it since 2 or more of Rated R's members got target shocked. But yeah, that was not a very ideal situation at all.
Yeah. Anyways, going to Music Park, and we're gonna have to see who gets bumped onto the keys, because that could really mean a lot. Like for Deci right here, you need to make sure that you're getting into the front and like dismantling that top 2 as soon as possible. Like that's happening, or he's getting bumped onto the keys, and then it's just tough. Or he can just burn out.
Oh,
but
well, now he's not getting bumped into the.
I mean, hey man, not getting bumped into the keys is honestly like a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd honestly feel worse if I didn't burn out and then got bumped into the keys. It's the worst thing.
Right. Yeah. As we see that peach in the back, is that Chibi? I think.
Potentially, it might have changed since Edgy was using pink gold. I guess we'll find out. But
yeah, so
I think the Yoshi in the back is rated R. I think James maybe he must have switched colors. But
almost hit that man. I gotta be careful.
Looks like rated R in top 4, maybe top 3 at least.
Seems like it, yeah. And see, like this is what we were talking about like before the match started. Like the previous match really seemed like you just had one member from both teams staying in the back to try to like suicide for shock, maybe. Like really go for it. That's a really good boomerang, and I mean this top 3 is just basically gone. Although I think it's probably Elmer coming up. Sure.
Yeah, Elmer's coming up. Eric Free has a red right behind. Or is that a red? No, is that? I think that's a bomb. That is a bomb. Eric has a bomb in second place.
Oh, how did he hit that red?
Darky dodging the red by a good boomerang throw.
The back is really sus right now. I see a ton of bills and a peach and a star, so this might just be shockless, but
I think Rated R are going to get a top 4. I think
he hit someone at the end there too.
He just hit someone on the line. Top 4 for Rated R. That's very not good for, or that's really not good for Encore.
Oh, top 4 is 6 too. That's like devastating. Yeah. I feel like Rated R might have had shock like for a pretty decent amount. Either that or it was just pulled like at the very end, but we saw that it was used pretty much right after they passed the line, so maybe they were like, okay, there's no point in using this. We just gotta make sure that we're safe, and then we can maybe get Yoshi Racer up there or something, which, you know, might have happened.
Absolutely. Rated R, after the most ideal start to the reset, up 38 after just 2 races. Rated are in a very good position to win this at the minute, but hopefully Encore can respond and at least make it a close match.
Yeah, I mean, considering that like Encore really came close with this lineup in the previous match, like I think it shows that they're definitely capable of it for sure. They just need the tracks to be able to come back first of all. Ice Ice is definitely not going to help them, although I know Ty loves this track, so if he gets into the front, that's going to be good for Encore. But the rest, it's like you got to make sure that you do get to the front early, because like this is one of those tracks where it's really easy to just break away, honestly, when you know what you're doing.
Exactly, and on the contrary, it makes it very difficult to catch up if you're stuck in the back. It looks like Birda pulls out triple greens and kills three of his teammates.
Yeah, that was
horrible.
really bad, and Ty was one of them too. Oh, that's like literally the worst thing that could have happened.
Early bottom four for
Very
Encore.
Unlucky. Well, James is in the back. He's in last, and he's probably going to be going for shock again. I presume Chibi will also be staying back with him. So this is one of those situations where, like, yeah, if you're Encore, you need shock for sure. Like, I think if you're Deci, you just hold a star and really just hope that Chibi pulls it.
It'll be interesting to see how Encore respond, because last war, James was not actively going for shock. So it'll be interesting to see how Encore can fare with one of Rated R's members going for shock with them every race.
Yeah, we see two builds in play right now. I could not tell what that was.
Oh, Rated R
that
shock.
Actually might have been a shot that I just did not see. To be holding, I'm not sure. It might have been a star. I could not see, but
I did not see it. But I think it was a radar
that
shot.
That just sucks for Darky, dude. And now you're gonna be getting red in 11 because of that. Yeah, that just sucks.
For Deci. Unless he can dodge the red, maybe. Oh, blue for Darky. Looks like he's holding, so that means
I have no idea what the
potentially
Encore right now. It seems like a lot of Encore in the middle. This is a huge build of pull.
I think it could be. I think it could be another top 3 for Rated R if that's Yoshi Racer in first. Oh, but it's not.
Oh, Ty managed to clutch up and get 1-4-5, and then I think it was 7 as well. Yeah,
that's a very needed first for Encore.
I'm pretty sure it was Chibi holding shock. I wasn't sure. Like I thought it was a star at first, but I was like, wait, maybe that's a shock actually. But I wasn't sure, and then it was just used, so I presume it was Chibi.
Surely it was, since Ty got such a big break straight after that shock.
Yeah.
Winning race for Encore, so they're clearly not giving up just yet, but they're definitely in contention. It's still very close.
They're so due for PPS, man. It didn't even get played in the last match. Like, this is when it matters the most, man. Like, it's literally the final game. Like, you gotta play it at least once, you know? So
yeah, if you're gonna lose, at least lose playing the tracks you like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Looks like we're finally not gonna be going to RPPS
yet again.
Dolphin Shoals for Rated R. Quite an understandable track pick actually, since I think Encore 2-3. Very interesting track in 200. It's quite, although it is classed as like a drafting track, it is a very, if you can get into the front after the first lap or so, then you're in quite a good position to win this race. But
Ty might trail him here, honestly.
Yeah, Ty.
Darky needs to make sure he's spacing, especially right here when it's like really hard to tell. Just show me into first and trailing is probably a smart play. Now he'll be able to keep first, and then also just have a shock battle going on in the back yet again. I guess it's going to be happening every race. So
looks like it.
Yeah.
Our Rated R holding top 2 now, yes. But what
this
other spots are there?
Okay. Well, it seems like Encore is 9-10 as well. It's 9-10-11 technically. So, I mean, this is like looking like one of those races where if Encore doesn't pull it, then it just might be another really good race for Rated R. And that's kind of what I mean is like, you can't let Rated R just run like this because, you know, they're just going to keep those top spots. But the shock, like you see there, is
shock
what keeps them
coming in for Encore. Deci coming up in a bill with triple shrooms in first.
Like, if he doesn't get booed, he just wins. Although I'm not sure because Radar
even getting booed. I think that's Ty in second. He seemed to have caught up quite quickly. Looking like a very good race, very good position for Encore right now. Encore holding 3 out of the top 4 spots.
I think they're also like near the
Both-
back goal, like 7.
Both Roy's getting hit out, meaning that Darky was killed, meaning that Encore getting top 3.
We saw blue come out
Um,
too, so maybe it was being held. I'm not sure. It might have just been pulled at the end too.
Potentially. Top
Oh, that's
4,
huge.
6. Oh,
Oh, that's massive.
that's
Huge shot
very
goal for
big.
Encore to be able to win that race by that much, and that might put them in the lead. Actually, maybe, I'm not sure. It's going to be really close now, regardless.
Very, very close. We're in for a very close match.
I really love to
Just-
see that. Yeah.
Despite such a good start from Rated R, they can't even hold it for the rest of the GP, and it's now back to -4. 4 points separating the two teams.
Definitely doable. And I mean, we saw this in the last match. They went higher and they got a pretty good race. So, I mean, kind of just banking on that again because they like the track that much. And, you know, they've kind of understood at this point and just accepted, like, yeah, PPS just isn't going to get picked if we keep picking it. So we got to opt for some other things we like too. But
They seem to be opting to go for Hyrule Circuit again. I think that did go well for them last time.
Yeah.
So I guess that would give them a green light to potentially pick it again, like they have, and get maybe another good race and take the lead for the first time in the recent.
But nope, we're just playing desert. You know,
Oh,
always got to reset it, right?
casual desert, every single war.
I can't remember what happened here last war. I know that Darky just like pretty much had like a bill in second or something, right?
I think he took first.
Some power item.
I think it was a reasonably neutral race last time. I think it was slightly in Rated R's favor, but
yeah, Darky just like
relatively
had triple
neutral.
shrooms at the end and just cheesed past 2-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Deci
he's just gonna be
opting to
seeing
run
Deci
again.
Yeah.
And
James running this time for some reason. Of all tracks that he's running on desert. So fair enough.
shock bags on all the running tracks, and then when it comes to desert, he just gives up.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I think if you're Darky, you just hold a star. Maybe check. Okay. Well, I mean, if he gets another dodge, it's fine.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that was fair, I guess.
That's very
but,
good.
yeah.
Taking Ultra with the golden, yes.
I'm
He's
getting
going to
deja
have
vu,
this.
man. This is literally the
he's
exact
gonna
same
have,
thing.
yeah. Well, is he going to have this at last cut too?
Well, Shock didn't
ooh,
come this time, so.
Interesting pull, but blue going for Deci, which means it looks like Edgy has a star. Yeah, they all have stars in 2-3. Doesn't look like Rated R have the shock.
Yeah.
Oh, but they do. Edgy dodging in second. Kai dodging in the middle as well.
I'm not sure who Shock that was, to be honest.
Surely it had to have been Rated R's.
I think so.
Edgy,
It must have been. But...
Edgy dodged in second. I don't. But yeah, it looks like Rated R pretty much have a guaranteed top 2, but we can see how Encore will respond.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think most Encore on the back, unfortunately. Darky getting a golden too, just to top it off. I think this is going to be good for Rated R.
This is going to be
Unless
a very
there's
big
someone
race.
up there that we just didn't see that's a hero.
But no. Top 2, 4, 5, 7. Bottom 3 for Encore. That's not what they needed after such a big last 2 races.
Yeah, that's really tough, man. Just getting 2 good races and then just being like, yep, no, we're going right back to where we were. So yeah, back to the drawing board for Encore. They need to get something here because it's getting later into the match. You know, you won't have as much time to try to get these big races later on. So you want to try to get as close as you can now.
Actually, I'm looking and apparently it was an Encore shock, and
yeah, I figured because one of them
Rated
was,
R just
used, it was right out of their dodge, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think they just predicted it. It seems that they cancelled the blue for Deci, but unfortunately didn't get Edgy or Kai out of their dodges, so they just ran.
Oh, that is really bad for Encore, man. I mean, like, in their current spots, right, like, they're in a really, really favorable position. Not only is Darky going to be able to, or he's not in first, actually, never mind, but whoever's in first is going to keep it, and then most of them are also in positions to get shrooms. So, like, this could be really good for them.
They have the top 2 spot for support, and they have all shroom spots, but Fresh seeming to pull a shroom in third. Maybe he can capitalize on that and take the lead. It looks like he does. Another Encore player looks to be up there. It looks like Encore have top 2. but
Yeah.
one of them getting hit out actually. But still
James
a top
and
2
Chibi
for
are
Encore.
actually in the back again. I don't know why they are in Mumu, but I mean, if they get shocked, then that could be big for whichever team pulls it. And I mean, Darky pulling it through, so if Radar actually gets it, I mean, he might just win the race, honestly, if he dodges. So
Yeah, very close pack in top 6. Rated R seem to have most of the spots. It looks
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
oh
say.
yeah, sniping out Elmer. I think.
are they top 5?
Oh, and killing Fresh and backing him. I think it is a top 4 for
Radar is
Rated
like
R.
everything up here right now. Encore probably needs shock, or else it's just over, basically.
A blue
Yeah,
shell
top
coming
4.
in late. It looks like a top 4 for Rated R.
Yeah, that's tough. James is in the back at the very least, but I mean, top 4
Doesn't
is
even-
still really good.
Yes, top 4, 10,
10, 12.
12. Oh, top 3, 5 actually. But still, that's not really going to do that much.
Yeah, that's just going to make them get ahead even further, making it harder to come back. But I mean, they still have like a pretty decent amount of the war left. Like one race like Shoals into like another front running track where they can just keep those spots and they're in a decent position. But I mean, right now is when getting those track picks really matters, I think.
Absolutely. I think Encore need a track that can reset the momentum, potentially get it in their favor. As Rated R are running away with it at the minute. They've got two huge races in a row, and they've got the momentum, all the top spots, and they're getting their pick again. Mount
Yeah.
Wario.
Mount Wario is a really, really good front running track. Like I know I've said that for a lot of tracks, but like this one, if you're like first after section 1, you're pretty much like just winning the race, unless like a shock or blue happens before the S3 turns. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, there's not really much you can do in the first section if Rated R don't bump each other. They should potentially hold the top spots, but Darky, as I said that, Darky getting bumped wide, giving Encore first place, it looks like.
Yeah, Deci's
Yes.
gonna break into first. Although he's kind of
Yes.
getting contested by Edgy a little bit.
Looks like Edgy's backed off slightly, so Deci's going to take a lead.
He throws,
Trailing.
I think Kai?
I think it was
it
Kai
was
or
Kai.
Edgy
I'm pretty sure it's
but-
Kai, but yeah.
getting
Nothing
a
at first,
reasonable
though.
lead, but Rated R
And
all behind him, and he's getting redded, and he's going to try and dodge it on the
He needs
wall,
to break
which
it on the tree.
didn't work. I think he's getting redded.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I think that's
That's
gonna give
unfortunate.
Radar most of the top spots. Fresh is up there, but and Ty is
Fresh-
too. Okay, maybe it's not
Fresh
that
and
bad.
tight. Oh, the bomb sandwich between the tree.
Yeah, just literally seeing your demise right in front of you and just knowing it's gonna happen. Just accept it, basically.
Darky with a
choking the
plan.
turns. Might plant
Yeah.
Yoshi Racer if
Yeah.
you're not careful.
He
But,
could potentially do quite a lot of damage with these triple reds on this glider panel, and trying to red Chibi, but I don't know if it's going to catch.
yeah, at this point in the track, like nothing works. Like 200cc just invalidates whatever items exist at this point in the track. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think that was
not,
another good race.
What's it saying? Top 2, 5, 6. I think it's
Yeah.
still a very good race for Rated R, because Encore got 3 in the bottom 4, and R got top 2.
Yeah.
So I think that Rated R have continued their momentum streak and go up 62 with 5 races left.
Yeah, and like I mean, 5 races, like you can definitely make something happen within that. I mean, like a top 6 is like a plus 40. So like at that point, you're only down like in the 20s if you actually manage to do it. But again, like a top 6 is a really tough thing to accomplish. So you really just gotta hope that, like, if you're Encore, you can get into the front by whatever means necessary. And I think that that might require them to simply go for shock more, because I feel like they're not doing it as much in this match compared to match 1. So that might be what they want to focus on for the remainder of these races. And we're going to be seeing TikTok, which is just, it really sucks for Encore given Radar's position right now. They're going through the
Encore-
gauntlet. So
Absolutely. Encore definitely need to capitalize on this race. They don't seem to be getting their track picks, but they definitely need to at least make a move. on one of these tracks. Otherwise, sooner or later, they're going to be out of it.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that in the previous war, Rated R chose this track when they were most of the top spots, and Encore ended up getting top 3, actually. So, I mean, it's certainly possible to break top spots. It's just really difficult, and we already see Radar in potentially top 3, I think. Unless it's someone else in
Yeah.
first, I couldn't tell.
Getting
Deci
trailed
getting
before the trail.
cut, yeah.
Unfortunate.
It's also worth noting that we do see another shock battle going on in the back with James and Chibi yet again. Really interesting how they're constantly doing that every single race. But, I mean, if Chibi can pull that shock, then that's, like, pretty key for Encore success right now. Falling off, unfortunately, the pendulums are just evil. Someone's holding blue, I think, if I just saw Yoshi Racer.
Yes, I think Yoshi Racer's holding blue, meaning that Rated R might potentially be able to keep their top 3.
Yeah, they're basically set right now.
They have a massive break in top 4. That's rough. Encore really need to do something, and they need to do it fast.
Yeah, and 3 bills in play too, and James is not one of them. So honestly, he might have the shock right now. It's very possible. Okay, he doesn't, but like, it seems like one of them might be able to pull it right here. And there it
someone did. There's the shock. Deci dodging, and the blue is out.
Might be too late, though. It might be too late.
Getting Rated R on the line. What spots? I think Encore might have gotten first.
I feel like he should have used that build earlier. I'm not sure if it would have done as much, considering like how you can take the cut with it instead. Absolutely. But I mean, that still kind of worked out for them.
Still a winning race for Encore. I think not Encore. Rated R. I think, but I think winning race for Encore actually, but Encore did very well to turn that around. Rated R had like a huge gap in top 4 going on to lap 3, so quite an impressive turnaround that race. +2 race, but that's better than a -20.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously winning race is great, right? But like, you only have 4 races left, so like you really need to start getting those big races now, right? Like, you need to really keep those top spots. Hopefully they can build off of what they have from TikTok, depending on the track. Like, this is the most important time for PPS to come out right now. The team spirit's going to get the track to be picked. So.
Absolutely. Encore opting to go PPS at any point they can, and they are still not going to get it. It's so unfortunate for them.
That really sucks. Yeah.
It's been like, what, 20 races, and they still not managed to get it, but maybe they will before the end of the race.
Yeah. Royal is a really interesting track. Like, you can either just run it and have no interruptions, right? Or there's just like 2 shocks and then you just get destroyed after running for the entire race. So yeah, like, I mean, we'll have to see what happens here. I think we're going to be probably seeing James and Chibi in the back again, as we see. But
yes. It's definitely quite a risky track to pick.
Yeah.
But if Encore can pull shock here, that could be very, very huge for them, and they could potentially be still in it as we are beginning the last GP.
Missing that chain is really tough there.
Yeah, unfortunately also hitting the plant in the process.
Yeah. I mean, his distance, like, he might be able to pull it, honestly, in 10th. Hard to say, but... Let's see. Fresh getting horned. I think that's probably a top... Oh, wait, never mind. Encore is literally top 2. So, I mean, if they can hold on to this and there's no shock, then, like, that's pretty important. But Darky's going to try to come up there and say, nope, you're not doing that. Or he'll just get bumped into the
Elmer bumping Darky into the finish line, forcing him into his shroom, and not going to be able to connect that red as Elmer has defense. Rated R still holding 3-4.
Shock's going to come out.
3-4-6 or something like that.
There's Ghost. No, okay, no shock.
Ghost coming in. Doesn't look like there's going to be a shock. She was in a bill, and
he should have gotten rid of all those nanas.
Looks like a 3-4-5 from Rated R though. Only top 2 from Encore, but still 6-7, so a relatively neutral race.
Yeah.
But a neutral race is not what they want at the late stages of the match when they're down 52 with 3 races left.
Still doable, but I mean, pretty tough, obviously. They're really, really banking on PPS, man. Their entire war literally is decided by whether they get that track or not, honestly. So you really gotta hope, out of like all the 10 other times that they've picked it today, that they get it here.
Hopefully they get it in their favor when they need it the most. But it looks like we're going to Donut Plains again.
Radar paid off the Mario Kart gods to be like, no, we need all the track picks today. Or at least whenever PPS is on the board, you're not picking that track. So that's tough.
When Rated RC Encore picking PPS, they just know that they're going to get their track pick.
Yeah.
And
it's like
we're going to Donut Plains again.
See, the thing is though, like even if you don't get PPS here, like of all the tracks that you have to play instead, like this is probably one of the ones you would be okay with, right? Because like DP3 is extremely wild. Shock is just so powerful on here, depending on where you use it. Usually first set, but obviously it depends on whatever the situation is. We see Encore in 145, I think. Yeah,
the mole hitting Deci as he goes over it, but fresh throwing greens forward, which is somewhat risky on this track, as the wall boundaries are squared. So if you throw a green directly forward, it'll bounce straight back at you.
Gonna be able to combo edgy after just getting hit there, but he steals his double.
Not getting
and
the
he
box
gets reds too.
Looks very. This is gonna be very dangerous, and the shot coming in from what seems to be Rated R Shock, as someone dodged in a bell in the front. Darky dodging.
Yeah, Darky dodging to surprise nobody, and is going to be probably getting first this race.
And a Waluigi there as well. Eric Free getting second place. Edgy getting
This could very well be the dagger, actually.
I think that's a top 3 for Rated R.
That might be the dagger right there. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 though.
Bottom 2. It's definitely a very brutal race against Encore, but it's still within their reach. Minus 62 with 2 races left. I think it's definitely possible, but Encore are really going to need to hustle for these last 2 races.
Piranha Plant slide, baby. Gotta bank on it, man. You're in a desperate situation. You just gotta hope that maybe you get the track pick. And now that they're not picking it, they're gonna get TM, and because it's literally TM as well. Like imagine dodging TM. So
yeah, TM is another one of those tracks that's impossible to avoid. It's like the Excite Bike Arena of Lounge.
Yeah, basically.
But we're not. We actually are going to Wario's Gold Mine.
Yeah, they need to win this race by I think, what is it, 24? If they want any chance of staying in this. So they can't really have many people back there. If you're Chibi, as much as it's really good to get the shock, it's really risky to stay back there. So
I think they definitely need to try and pollute into the front spots and try and take out Darky, who's going to try his best to run this in first. If Encore can get up there.
Well, it appears right now that Radar is in top 3, which is very hard to break on a track with Gold Mine. So it might be one of those situations where you need to get shocked. And it does seem like Chibi's going for it, which means they'll have to get a really good race aside from just Chibi's spot, assuming that he's unable to catch up. So this bomb in first too, if the Radar behind him get taken out, he'll just be able to be nope, I know that all that work you just did to take us out, it's not going to matter because I have this bomb. So we'll have to
absolutely
see what happens.
But the bomb getting stolen.
No, he's pulling another one right here. It's literally Dark. He's pulling a bomb. Never mind.
The shot coming in looks like an Encore shot.
Encore
all of the Metal Marios and Ty coming up to the front.
Oh, that bomb!
Flattened.
He stole the
blue shell coming in though.
Yeah.
Ty has his bomb, but
top 3,
Encore
top 4.
in top 4.
Top 4.
Top 4, but the blue catching Ty and Eric free, so still a top 3 for Encore. Elmer trying his best to back Darky.
Oh,
Darky
that is a
playing Ghost
really
on
huge
stealing his
ghost. And he stole
triple
the green.
green. Oh no, he stole a horn.
But that's
Getting
just equally as bad. And yeah,
another shot.
that's
Oh,
might
no.
be curtains right there. He just steals.
That is over. That is all of it over. Getting,
That actually-
right after the
wow.
line.
That actually is so bad.
That's
I
such a
think that might
brutal
be it,
ending.
unfortunately.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, last for Encore. All
Yeah.
top to mid spots from Rated R. I think that is the end of 200. Yes, 58-point differential after 11 races. Rated R are the 200L Overdrive 2 champions.
Really impressive showing by Rated R for sure to get to this point. I mean, same to Encore as well, though. I mean, you can't forget that Encore literally was the one that sent them down to losers, right? Like, and it was convincingly also. Like, it wasn't just like a plus like 2 or like a small win. Like, they won by, I think it was 46, right? When they sent them down to losers.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
think it's quite although it was very surprising and nice to see Encore take down Rated R, it's for them it's quite unfortunate today that they weren't able to repeat it and they've fallen at the last hurdle.
I mean, if you're Encore here, you're just hoping you finally get your track, and you can't even get that, even when it's just garbage time right now.
That's so unfortunate.
Imagine just having to end your war on Baby Park again. Dude, what if they just get top 6 here? Like, what
two
if?
wars in a row ending on Baby Park. Let's see if Encore can get another like top 4. Yeah.
I mean, hey man, if they get top 6, then they would lose by the same amount they lost match 1 by. So then, at the very least, well, we were consistent. So.
Consistency is the best they can hope for after Baby Park. But
yeah, this is just the pride laps right here, just taking a lot of
definitely
happiness, enjoying
Darky's
the win.
Taking his time around Baby Park, enjoying his time in the back. Encore do seem to have Encore do seem to have quite a lot of mid spots, but
what is happening?
Rated R.
This guy was literally just in last. He's in 6 right now, just with shrooms. So Darky's dodging right here. I'm calling it right now. He's dodging the shock.
Radar have
someone use it so I can be correct.
Everyone in Radar has a dodge there, but
Darky gets farmed.
The bomb destroyed.
He gets absolutely eviscerated.
Darky.
No more indivs for Darky.
Top
Unfortunately, not gonna
3
break 100%, but yeah.
They just put the nail on the coffin with the top 3 right at the end. Actually, they just did to Encore what Encore did to them on Baby Park last match, and I've ended up winning by 80 in the second match.
A really kind message from Darky here. GG's. So yeah. Really good showing from Encore, though. I know that they obviously lost that by more than they lost the first match, but they did a good job today, I think. It really sucks that in the second match they didn't really get as many shocks. It seemed like kind of Rated R just occupied most of the top spots for a majority and kind of just broke away.
Yeah, it seems they also weren't able to capitalize on the shocks that they were pulling. And unfortunately, the ones they did use some very, very good shocks, but unfortunately they just weren't able to pull them as early as they would have hoped, so it didn't do as much damage.
Yeah. I mean, Goldmine looked really good for their chances at winning potentially. I mean, they were like top 4, and then the blue was unfortunately coming out, so yeah, that was tough.
Unfortunately. Yeah, and the second shock too really just boosted Rated R and dug them out of the hole that they were in that race. Got them a very, very, I think it was a winning race actually that they turned it into because of that second shock.
Oh yeah, Darky's luck with that, the boo pull at the perfect time to not only just avoid Elmer's triple greens, but also pull a horn him off, and then dodge and steal triple reds. Like, literally, if you're Encore, like, what worse can happen right there?
Yeah, I don't think Encore really could have done much about that. And Encore put up a very good fight today, actually. Impressive playing from like I've said before, just a group of friends that share the same interest over a team of masters in 200 Lounge. They put up a very, very good fight, and it was interesting to watch.
For sure. Well, congratulations again to Rated R for taking Overdrive 2. They did absolutely wonderful today and throughout the entire tournament as well. And of course, hats off to Encore for really doing quite well against the what I would say is like the undisputed champions of 200 right now. I'm pretty sure they've won like every tournament. So
Absolutely.
maybe we'll be able to see it eventually. Encore taking the tournament. I think that they're definitely the ones to do it if it's not Rated R, but we'll have to see. So that's probably going to be it for now. And thanks everyone for tuning in today. Glad we could get some 200 on the main stage, you know.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, actually.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.